My favorite thing to do with the boys, honestly, just like spend one-on-one time with them. I love being able to like have just time with one of them individually, because I know that as a whole, like they're always referenced as the triplets, and so it's important to me to be able to build individual relationships with each of them and have, you know, that bond versus it just being like, oh, all of them meshed together. And I just love being able to like take them and do stuff. It's so fun getting them out of the house and just like seeing their like interactions and seeing them like opening up to just all the new in the world. Like it's fun. Feeding by mouth is going good for Croy especially. Daxon is doing a lot better, and so is Ezra with tastes of things, especially Daxon. Anytime Croy's eating, he wants to try to eat too, so that has been going well. He's drinking water and stuff now too, so that's good. It's just it's a marathon, not a sprint, so we're working on it. It's getting better slowly. Last year at their birthday party, Croy couldn't even like really eat. He did like a little taste of frosting, but he would even gag on that. And this year, you know, he's eating literally everything. So things happen as they should, and it's just slowly but surely. Any health updates on the boys? Not really anything significant right now, but I will keep you guys updated, of course, when those things come to light. Like I said, Daxon is going back to see a lot of his specialists right now. He's going to ENT, the neurosurgeon, to check on his spine, and another specialist. He's going back to look at his eyes again to see, you know, how surgery went and what they need to still like maybe correct on that, if he needs to wear an eye patch. So he's got a lot going on. Ezra is just slowly weaning on the vent. The first week of June, we should be able to make a pretty big vent wean, which will be good because he's tolerated everything so well. He also, it's kind of confusing, but like he's on his ventilator, right? But then he also has oxygen through his ventilator, and we got the approval through his pulmonary hypertension clinic to cut back on oxygen during the day if he's tolerating it. Yesterday, he was on no oxygen for like 5 or 6 hours, I think. 4 or 5 hours, which is really huge, because that means that if you can tolerate that and we go somewhere during the day, we can just bring like oxygen tanks as backup in case of an emergency, but we don't actively have to carry it on us all the time, which is good, because that's honestly the biggest pain in the butt. The ventilator we have on a backpack now, so it's really easy to carry that, but the oxygen tanks is like, it's a whole nother thing, and they're heavy. You have to pack so many, and it's just a pain. So how are you doing? Is your mental health better? I think overall my mental health is better right now. I had a pretty big mental breakdown over just the last week or so, where I just was like, what am I doing in my life? Like, what do I want to do in my life? What do I want to happen? It's hard sometimes to focus on myself versus focusing on just being a mom, and so I'm really trying to work on that right now and find me, be a better version of myself. And like I said at the beginning of the video, cut back on just unhealthy habits and like really focusing on being the best version of me so that I can be the best version for them. Do you manage to get out and about much with all the boys? Love from the UK. Like I said, maybe once a week right now. We just did a Target trip on Mother's Day because I really wanted to take all of them. Braxton was like, do you think we can do it? And I was like, yeah. And it went really smooth, and he was like, okay, that wasn't bad at all. Because it is intimidating, all the things that we have to pack, and just getting all 3 of them to the car. Like, we have to take multiple trips just to bring them to the car, you know? It's just a lot, but we do that. And then we've been trying to take walks just around the neighborhood, because that's something a little bit easier than getting them all packed in the car, and we have to, you know, carry less equipment when we're just like right down the road. So yeah, we're getting there. How was your trip to Florida? You deserve it, and hope you and Brax have planned your trip. We have not planned a trip. Like I said, we were kind of, I don't know, we were just in such a limbo for a long time, and we've been so busy just taking care of the boys and then working on ourselves, and it's, you know, we've had a lot going on, so we haven't done that. But my trip to Florida was good. I had 2 trips to Florida, and it was really nice. I missed the boys a lot, but I definitely like recharged after I came back and was like, okay, I needed that. The boys' full names are Croy Ray Fuller, Daxon Lee Fuller, and Ezra Kai Fuller. Will you do a DNA swab to test if they are identical? It would be your most viewed video. I'm going to DNA test them eventually. I know for a fact that, well, I guess I don't know for a fact that they're not all identical, but I don't think they're all identical. They don't look identical to me. Daxon and Ezra are allegedly identical, but I just don't see it. So we'll see. I would love to know you guys' opinions though. Are the conditions the boys have all from being premature, or are some unrelated? That was hard for me to say. I don't know what just happened to me. Most of them are probably from them being premature. The only thing that we think was not, well, I know it was not from them being premature, was Daxon's esophagus issue and the fact that he has Vactrol. Again, I talked about these diagnoses in my previous video if you guys want to watch that, but that's one thing that was just a luck of the draw. They just, you know, he just happened to get that. Everything else is related to them being premature. What is the difference between the OT and the PT the boys receive? So it does cross over a lot. You know, a lot of the things that the PT works on, the OT works on, but the primary difference is that OT works with them on feeding and PT is more physical therapy where they're, you know, practicing going up the stairs and, you know, standing and shifting around and just stuff like that, walking on different surfaces, feeling out different textures of things. But OT works with them on that too, so it does like cross over a little bit, but PT doesn't work with them on feeding. A lot of the times our PT and our OT are here at the exact same time, and so they kind of just like collectively work with the boys all three together, so that's really nice. It just makes it easier on us for sure. How did you name the boys, and do you have any tattoos planned with their names? I actually just got a new tattoo with their names. I'll show you guys it in a second. We named them just because my name started with an A, Braxton started with a B, so we wanted to do CDE names, and then their last name is F, which is ironic, and that wasn't really intentional, but just kind of how it played out. And we just put together a list of our favorite CD and E names and kind of went through it and said yes or no to the ones that we liked and didn't like. And then their middle names we actually picked the day of discharge in the hospital. Like, we had no idea what their middle names would be, and we just picked them there after compiling a list. And we did intentionally give them all 3-letter middle names, but we did not intentionally give them all 5-letter first names. And I've talked about the whole like 5 thing and it being me and Braxton's lucky number before, but it was like the craziest thing. When we met, me and Braxton's lucky number was both 5, and then I went into labor on 5/5. Our room, so they were almost born on 5/5, but they ended up being born on 5/6, just because honestly they were trying to stop my labor, if anything. I was in room 5 in the NICU, and then when Daxon got moved to the other hospital, he was in bed 5/6 when they were born on 5/6. It was just the craziest thing. Now all their first names have 5 letters, which was not intentional, like I said, at all. We did not mean to do that. And then we're a family of 5, so it's pretty wild. I have more like stories on how that all came out, but it was the craziest thing ever. Like I said, we didn't do the 5-letter thing intentionally. Croy's name, our other name that I liked really a lot, was Crew, which is only 4 letters, and then Daxon's name was almost Decker. Braxton let me pick between the two, and I ended up picking Daxon just because I liked that it was similar to Braxton, but not the exact same. All their names have like a special meaning to me that I like, so it was just weird. Where did you get the cover that covers his trach tube? All the stuff pretty much that we get for them that's like cutesy is from Etsy. So I can show you guys some of the stuff that we got maybe in a separate video. What supplies that aren't medical related do you use? Oh, I don't know. Like just normal stuff, I guess. Like what anybody else would use. Like diapers and wipes. I don't know. That was a really stupid answer. Sippy cups, plates. I guess just your typical stuff, you know, like your we have a bath seat for Ezra. That wasn't a great answer, I'm sorry. I had to stop filming for a second because I had to switch platforms of where people asked questions. So what has helped you guys cope with the boys' medical needs? What are some of your favorite things about each of the boys? Definitely therapy helped me a lot in the beginning because I struggled a lot. I also read quite a few books at the beginning that were pretty therapeutic for me, and then just keeping busy. I know the best thing for Braxton obviously was his art and working out. I just recently started working out again, so that has helped me a lot too, to just kind of like, you know, take time to transfer to somewhere else, if that makes sense. Like when I read and when I work out, I'm not thinking about, oh, Ezra has this appointment this week and I'm stressed about this, and gosh, is Croy gaining enough weight? And so it's just like those are like outlets for us that help us like escape to a different like reality for just a little bit, and I feel like that's really therapeutic overall for us. And then obviously just like our support system, we've had, you know, really good friends and family along the way who have really just helped take care of the boys and helped us in like these really dark times that we've had. And of course, like when, you know, we've been separated like we have been, it's been nice to have those people to lean on, because when we were like actively not living together, he moved back in because it's kind of a complicated story, but he moved back in because the house he was living in was getting sold that he was renting, and so he moved back in here. And since then it's obviously a lot easier to co-parent and like work together on things whenever we were still living together, and then that's just kind of transformed into us having a really good friendship and working on ourselves, and then now like kind of working on a relationship if we can be healthy. We're just doing the best we can. What are some of your favorite things about each of the boys? Croy, I love just hearing him talk because he's really, really smart. Like he's saying like 30 some words right now. He technically wouldn't be 2 until August. I think that honestly in the next couple months we might start to try potty training with him. Send me all the tips because I literally have no idea what I'm doing. But he actively like knows when he's using the bathroom now. Like, well, maybe not pee so much, but he knows when he has to poop. And so I'm like, he's pretty smart. So I think we're getting to that point. So that's fun. Just seeing him learn so many new things, and you know, just it's fun. It's fun part of his personality. Daxon, honestly, I just he's so funny. That kid. He's actually really, he can be really sweet. So I love that, like, if you need to sit and read a book, like, he's the first baby. He loves books. And I love, like, how much he loves, like, reading and just, like, looking at stuff. He's so observant, and he'll just, you know, when we go outside, he just wants to, like, look at things. And it's so precious just to see him, like, so intrigued with the world. And with Ezra, just, like, his resilience, you know, like, he's still the happiest of the three, I would argue. Him and Crow are probably tied. Dax, I don't know. They all have their moments for sure, but I would say if I had to vote, Ezra's probably the happiest of them. He just is carefree, like, and that's why it's so frustrating when people like comment on like his life or like how he doesn't have a good quality of life, because he is the happiest kid. He's way happier than Corinne and Daxon because he just vibes. You can turn on a show and he'll just be happy. You can give him like little toys, he'll be happy. If you want to cuddle and you want to sit and rock for an hour, he'll sit and cuddle and rock and be happy. He doesn't mind his car seat. He doesn't mind car rides. He doesn't mind being outside. Like, he just chills, honestly. He'll be in a bouncer if you want to put him in the bouncer. He likes baths. Like, he's just easy. Somebody asked how the birthday party went. It was good. I was going to film and I literally couldn't. We were so busy that week and behind, and it was a circus. Hence why we did Welcome to TWO, the circus. I'll put a couple pictures up for you guys right here, but oh my gosh, it was a mess. They were so cute, but it was terrible. I loved having everyone here and getting to see everybody and letting everyone see them, but if you're a parent, you know, like, it was really fun, like, and, you know, they got so much new clothes and toys that we, like, desperately needed. Well, clothes we needed. And so that was really nice, but it was just very stressful and overwhelming, and that's why I didn't film, so don't hate me. Do they have favorite toys? Cars, anything cars. They have, no kidding, probably like 50 cars in their playroom. I mean, they do love like these new developmental toys. They like their like busy board that they have, and then they got mini busy boards to take in the car for their birthday, which are like perfect. They light up and make noise and stuff, and they have little switches and knobs, and they really like those, but mostly just their cars. They fight over their cars. Which one of the boys have a better connection with each other? Honestly, really none of them. They are like very they don't care to like play with each other, engage with each other. You'd think like Corey and Daxon would be closer than like Daxon and Ezra or Corey and Ezra because Ezra came home so much later, but honestly, like, they do not care to coexist. They're just like, no, I'm an only child. It's pretty funny. What made the boys come early? Was it a medical condition or were the boys not growing? So I actually got an infection. I don't know what it was from. If I had to guess, I'd say maybe like taking baths too often or something. That was like one of the only things that like brought me comfort. So I don't know if that's even it. We don't really know, but I got an infection of some sort and actually went septic and was in the hospital, and they just like could not stop my labor. I was just continued dilating, and they could see Croy just trying to come on out, so they had to come early.